Okay, welcome back. That's our vocabulary review section of the MOOC unit, Impressions of Taiwan, an overview of Tamshui's history and development.
Stream, stream, noun.
小河，溪流.
A very narrow body of continuous running water.
There was a little stream going down the hill next to our house, where frogs lived.
Harbor, harbor, noun.
港口，港湾.
A place along the coast where boats and ships can stay and be safe from bad weather.
The captain of the ship was lucky to find the harbor from the storm, and so his ship was safe.
Mandarin, Mandarin, noun.
普通话，中国和台湾的官方语言.
A dialect of Chinese spoken in Beijing and adopted as the official language for all of China and Taiwan.
When I'm in Taiwan, should I speak the Taiwanese language or the Mandarin?
Creation, creation, noun.
创造，创立，创造物.
Something that is constructed, often from one's critical thinking or imagination.
When the creation with the creation of a new MRT from Taoyuan to Taipei, people can more easily get to Taoyuan Airport.
Urban, urban, adjective.
城市的，城镇的.
Having the features of a big town or city, often with a large population.
The urban growth of Taichung has now made its population the same as Kaohsiung, and so its government has decided to build a new MRT.
Township, township, noun.
小镇，镇区.
A small town, the area as defined by a government, where a town's borders start and end, often for administrative purposes.
The townships of Tamshui in Taipei and Anping in Tainan have seen many changes in just 50 years.
Indigenous, indigenous, adjectives.
当地的，土生土长的.
A person or people who first lived in an area, often refers to Aboriginals in Taiwan.
There are two indigenous tribes located very near the Tainan indigenous village in Xinyi Township, south of Sun Moon Lake.
Settlement, settlement, noun.
定居，定居地.
A small place where people live, a community.
Taiwan had settlements by the Dutch in the 17th century, followed by the settlements of Han Chinese, including Hakka immigrants from the Fujian and Guangdong areas of China.
Complex, complex, noun.
综合大楼，建筑群.
A group of similar buildings or facilities in the same area, often used for similar purposes.
A military complex, a university complex, and a business complex usually look very different from each other because they have different types of buildings for different purposes.
Pressure, pressure, noun.
压力,
To try and get somebody to do something that they don't want to do but may have to do.
The people are putting a lot of pressure on the local government to change the drinking and driving laws.
Navy, navy, noun.
海军,
Part of the military that fights on the water with ships and boats for their country.
The British Navy was very important in helping win the war since ships were needed to transport a lot of supplies to the soldiers.
Overlord, overlord, noun.
特别指古时代的领主、大王.
A person with great authority or power over many people in an area, a high-ranking lord.
Genghis Khan was the overlord of Chinese lands in the 13th century after defeating the Western Xia dynasty and then the Jin dynasty in the east, north, and south.
Camphor, camphor, noun.
樟脑,
A sticky substance, resin, that is often obtained from the camphor tree, often used in making insect repellent, plastic, and explosives.
The camphor tree is grown commercially in China and Japan for its oil and is used for medicines to treat conditions from parasitic infections to toothaches. And the plant's chemicals have value in antiseptics.
Sulfur, sulfur, noun.
硫磺
A light yellow non-metallic element found in the earth which burns with a blue flame, giving off a choking smell, and is used in matches and gunpowder.
Sulfur is used in industries to make many different things, such as matches, pesticides, cosmetics, and drugs.
Port, port, noun.
港式港
A man-made coastal facility where boats and ships can load and unload their supplies and stay safe. It is often confused with harbor, but harbors are usually natural, whereas ports have been man-made structures as wharfs and piers.
Canada's biggest port for ships is in the city of Vancouver and handles half of all the container supplies going through Canada.
Missionary, missionary, noun.
传教士
A person sent on a religious assignment, especially one to promote Christianity in a foreign country.
The Apostle Paul was a famous missionary in the Bible who told people about God in Asia Minor, which today is the country of Turkey.
Sediment, sediment, noun.
沉积物
Matter that breaks up and becomes smaller, such as rocks, pebbles, sand, and silt, that go to the bottom of a body of water, as a river or sea.
The sediments on the bottom of the river are full of fossils from small animals and sea creatures.
Surrender, surrender, verb.
投降
To tell your enemy that they win and they now have control over you. To give up, often used in war and with the police.
Although his army was losing the battle, he would not surrender and told his men to keep fighting.
Preservation, preservation, noun.
保护、维护、保养
To stop something from getting broken, worn down, or damaged. To keep protected, in good condition, and maintained.
The Great Pyramids in Egypt must have had very smart builders because the preservation of these structures has lasted for thousands of years.
Farmstead, farmstead, noun.
农舍
A farm, including its land and buildings.
Farmsteads along the large river can be very beautiful, especially in the fall when the leaves turn different colors.
Grassroots, grassroots, noun and adjective.
基层的、草根的
Of or involving the common people, not people at the upper levels, that often work together or have a similar purpose in mind. They often fight for certain economic or political causes.
There was a grassroots movement among the town people to keep their old school from being torn down by the local government because it had a lot of important memories and artifacts in it.
Widen, widen, verb.
扩大、加宽
To broaden or expand in length or width.
The people decided to widen the little road so that traffic could go in two directions and not just one.
Storefront, storefront, noun.
临街的店面
The outside part of the store, including the doors and windows that face or are along the main street.
The government told the stores that all storefronts had to be kept clean from the litter and snow at all times.
Pedestrian, pedestrian, noun.
行人
A person who travels on foot, often along the side of a street.
Pedestrians should use the crosswalk when crossing busy roads.
Coalition, coalition, noun.
联盟、同盟
An alliance of people, corporations, or countries for a special purpose, often for general political or economic purposes.
There was a coalition of workers who wanted the company to spend more money on safety since 3 workers had gotten badly hurt in the past year, but no changes had been made so far. Now we have 2 questions regarding the vocabularies we just learned together. So, question 1. The recent logistics study suggests courier services use cargo bikes instead of vans to deliver goods in
A. Widen, B. Mandarin, C. Urban, D. Preservation.
So please pick the correct answer. The second question. As the first doctor at the camp, Ms. Peterson got a chance to face hundreds of displaced refugees.
A. Coalition, B. Surrender, C. Complex, D. Missionary.
So please pick the correct answer and see you next time.